Hey you guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back. So in today's video, we're steering away from skincare a little bit here, but still along the same lines. We're going to be talking about the top 5 best flawless finish, high coverage, skin-like foundations out there. These are some of the best of the best, the creme de la creme. These are so great. I'm finding the thing that ages me most, I mean, granted, I'm not on my road to retirement anytime soon. I'll be 37 this year, but I'm definitely noticing some more fine lines and wrinkles popping up, more hyperpigmentation, just more texture all around. And I notice if I'm wearing a foundation that isn't complementary to my skin, if it breaks up, if it sinks into my fine lines and wrinkles, it just, ooh, it really ages you. And I feel like the best thing you can do, the best makeup application trick or tip you can do for achieving a youthful appearance is to get yourself a good foundation, a good seamless foundation. And these are some of the best in my opinion. So we're gonna get right into it. These give a seamless application, they're smoothing on the skin, and they're also radiant and skin-like. So yeah, I love these so much. There is one that's more on the matter side, but still very satin-like, very healthy looking on the skin. So lots of good foundation picks in this video. Please leave some of your favorites down below. I'd love to hear them. One more thing before we get into my top 5 favorite high coverage foundations. The end of the video, I'm gonna include a bonus foundation. This is more lighter to medium coverage, and it's just so beautiful. I just had to include it. There's something about the smoothing aspect of this foundation, which is why I felt like it fit so well into this video. Not high coverage, but I still needed to include it for those lighter coverage fans out there. So that's an end of the video, but let's get into the top 5 first. All right, so my first pick for a flawless foundation is this one by NYX Cosmetics. This is their Born to Glow foundation. You guys, I feel like this is one of the most underrated foundations out there. The best part about this foundation, first of all, not even just that luminous, gorgeous, radiant finish this gives to your skin, but this is so lightweight. I said this before, but it reminds me a lot of the original Urban Decay Naked foundation. That light finish, but you get that pigmentation, you get the coverage. You can work this up to full coverage, but I will say it's more of like a medium to full coverage finish. It's not the longest wearing, but wow, does this make your skin look so beautiful. It's such a radiant, natural looking foundation too. It doesn't look unnatural. There's no like glitter flecks in here. It just makes your skin look so naturally radiant, which is why I love it. I love the lightweight feel. It has like a smoothing effect to the skin also. It feels comfortable on the skin. Everything about this I love. It blends easily into the skin, wears really nice. Like I said, not the longest wear time, but it does just, it fades gradually. It doesn't break up. It just looks nice and natural. One of the best foundations at the drugstore in my opinion. I love this so much. All right, the next foundation is a new favorite, probably as of last year. This is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Foundation Plus Skincare. So it has this plus skincare claim. I don't really, when looking into the ingredients, it does have panthenol, which is the vitamin B5 that hydrates the skin, is a nice emollient on the skin. There's hyaluronic acid, aloe vera is in here as well. So some nice hydrators, but I don't think it really improved my skin texture. But regardless of that, it's still a beautiful foundation. Oh my gosh, I love the way this wears. Similar to the NYX Born to Glow, it does have a thinner texture. And if you're a fan of the IT Cosmetics CC cream but didn't like the fact that maybe it was too heavy for you, it slid around a little bit, the wear time of this is better and it does not slide around. It stays put and it feels so lightweight on the skin. I mean, it is water light. It's a beautiful finish. It wears like literally nothing on the skin. It doesn't feel like you're wearing makeup at all. It's so lightweight, and it definitely wears a little longer than NYX. Now, I feel like this has more of, maybe more of a natural finish. This is going to give you some more radiance, but for those satin finish lovers out there, this is such a gorgeous foundation. It really smooths out the skin. This is going to be the big pattern throughout this video. All these foundations are really smoothing, and this is no different. It does not sink into fine lines, does not sink into pores. It literally just like floats over all your texture, and it's amazing that it's so thin but yet so smoothing at the same time. Love the way this feels. I love the finish. Definitely not as high coverage as the CC creams, but beautiful finish. Love the way this looks on the skin, and it just blends in so well into the skin. The color match is really great as well. There's 40 shades in this line, and it has just just that consistency is beautiful. I do not like a heavy foundation, but I also want a foundation that's going to be hydrating, and this is thin and hydrating at the same time. So great for those of you that have dry skin out there like I do. But even if you're on the oily side, comment down below if you're oily and are a fan of this foundation. I feel like it would still sit beautifully on your skin because it really does have a nice stay power to it. Thin and silky, but when it sets, it really sets. I really rarely even use a finishing powder over this foundation. So yeah, another one of my favorites, a beautiful foundation. And next up is a foundation that really surprised me, and that is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation. I know their original foundation got a lot of negative reviews, so I was a little hesitant to try this, but wow, this, oh my gosh, this finish is just that perfect dewy hydrated look. My skin, I feel like I always get compliments when I wear this because it gives that like glowy, hydrated, youthful look to the skin. And number one, probably the most smoothing out of all these. It just smooths over pores. It's so beautiful. It doesn't sink into pores and fine lines. Thin at the same time. Do you guys notice a pattern? I like thin, I like water light foundations, but with some coverage to them. And this is just that. It's super thin, but it actually claims to be a medium coverage foundation, but I definitely can get full coverage from this. Covers everything and it wears so nicely throughout the day. This is a little bit on the glowier side. I feel like it's comparable to the first NYX foundation I talked about, the Born to Glow. Very similar to that, but this is more of like a hydrated look. It talks about this Hydra Fresh complex to hydrate the skin. I don't know, it says that encompasses all these like fruit extracts. Yes, they can be hydrating, but in a way, I don't know. I just want some good hydrators. There is glycerin in here, so maybe that's why it's so hydrating. I think that has more to do with the hydration than these extracts that they're talking about. But regardless, it's so hydrating on the skin. I love this. Even on the days when I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be wearing foundation today because my skin is that dry. Like I get those dry, flaky spots sometimes, and wearing certain foundations just will do no good things for those flaky areas. But this somehow even heals those dry patches. By the end of the day, my skin is more hydrated. It looks smoother. It looks more healthy and glowy. It's just an all-around great foundation. It Cosmetics talks about this being like skincare and foundation. I feel like this even more so. I don't know if it's the high component of glycerin in here. Glycerin does great things for the skin, by the way. It's such a basic ingredient, but it is an all-star ingredient in my opinion. Just a great formula all around with this foundation. Love it. It is fragrance free. It does have those fruit extracts in here, but no fragrance is added to this. It's very gentle on the skin. Like I said, nourishing and moisturizing, and a beautiful glowy finish. Another one of my favorites. All right, now these last two are definitely on the higher coverage side. Let's go with the one that's maybe a little less coverage than the last one that we'll talk about. But this is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This is undetectable, medium to full coverage. This is like an OG holy grail for me. I've been wearing this forever. I've repurchased this probably the most out of all my foundations. I cannot get over how full coverage this is with still looking like my skin, which is why I think it's called Born This Way. They nailed it with the formulation, the name. It really does look like your skin, but it hides everything. It's so good. It's so high coverage, but never breaks up, never accentuates fine lines. Also too, very smoothing, but still thin. Not like a heavy foundation. It still feels very thin on the skin. At least to me. I know I heard a lot of people saying that this feels like heavy and caking on their skin. I am on the drier side, and even still, I feel like this is it's such a nice wearing foundation. This is my like go-to event foundation. Like if I'm going to a wedding, maybe an outdoor wedding, if it's like hot and humid outside, this is just a foundation that holds up under any condition. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Never self-conscious in this foundation whatsoever. You know how like you're wearing certain foundations, you feel like you need to touch up a lot throughout the day, pat them out a little bit, get off that excess foundation if you're sweaty. This just, it sets beautifully. You don't really need a lot of setting powder. Beautiful finish. I would say this is more of like a satin finish, not as glowy as the first couple, but still a very skin-like finish. Beautiful. Love this. Hopefully this never gets discontinued. I know this has been around for a while, and Too Faced definitely likes to throw in new releases all the time, so I hope they don't replace this with a newer release because I just love this. All right, and last but not least, let's talk about the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation and concealer. This is probably the highest coverage, but one of the most skin-like. It's super, super smoothing. There is something about this foundation. The fact that it almost feels like the consistency of Shape Tape when you're applying it. It sets nicely, and the applicator is awesome. So first of all, it comes with a pump. You have the choice of either the pump applicator or the doe foot. So I just love this packaging. I think it's genius. It amazes me that this is so high coverage but still very skin-like, similar to Born This Way, but again, I feel like this is a little bit higher of a coverage. It gives more of that like canceled complexion look. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of makeup artists want to achieve that like completely smooth, flawless complexion before they like go ham with their contour and everything else. This is going to give you that like mannequin look on your face. Like, that's the only word I can think of it. Just that smoothed out appearance, almost like too perfecting in a way. Like, it's so high coverage, but I wanted to include it in this video because wow, this gives your skin just a beautiful appearance. On my super dry skin days, this still works well. It's more on the matte side and probably the mattest foundation out of all these, but it still has a little bit of satin sheen to it, so it looks like your skin. It's not that powdery matte finish. Beautiful finish to it. It almost gives your skin that perfected look, and it really does wear really well. And the ingredients are so cool too, by the way. There's 3 ingredients that I feel like you rarely see in foundation. So first of all, shea butter is in here, and shea butter is definitely more of a hydrating ingredient. It can make products a little thicker, but somehow this is still a thin foundation, but still very hydrating. So you're getting the best of both worlds with the shea butter in here. Also ceramides. Ceramides is very few and far between when it comes to foundations. So you have another skin identical ingredient in here, great for, you know, hydrating the skin, smoothing out the skin. And retinol too is in here. Retinol is like in the middle of the ingredient list, so it's a pretty high ingredient in here, which is interesting. I don't never get any tingling, or I don't even feel any retinizing side effects from it, but interesting to see. Another foundation that they call like a skincare and foundation in one product. I don't know if you're gonna get the benefits from the retinol in here. They don't list the concentration, but interesting to see. Now, sometimes retinol is put into a product for a preservative aspect. Maybe it's doing more of that in this product, but still interesting to see nonetheless. So all around, a great formulation, and it just looks beautiful on the skin. Flawless. If you want a flawless foundation, this is it right here. High coverage with that smoothing aspect, with the hydration. This is an awesome foundation. Love this. It does not accentuate dryness or fine lines, just beautiful. Flawless coverage right here in a bottle. All right, and last but not least is the Morphe 2 Hint Hint Skin Tint. So this isn't part of my top 5 flawless foundations because this definitely leaves more of like a natural skin look because of that light to medium coverage. My pigmentation still pokes through, but this covers redness, and I wanted to include this because this has such a seamless application. This is one foundation where I don't need a sponge, I don't need a brush. I can literally go in with my fingertips and it just smooths everything out. I'm gonna demonstrate on my hands for you guys so you can see how this applies. Probably the thinnest out of all these, very literally like water light. You can see how it has like a runny consistency. And then when you rub it in, it just blends so easily. Like 1, 2, 3 and done. And you're left with just this sheen on the skin, this nice hydrated look, and it also has a nice smoothing component as well, which again is why I wanted to include it in here. It smooths out over everything. It has a high component of silicone in here, but it doesn't feel like a silicone-y product at all. It's very smoothing, but still very lightweight on the skin. It feels like nothing. It feels super water light. This is an amazing, amazing product. Not talked about enough. I love this. It's called a skin tint, but you can definitely build this up to medium coverage. Love it. Only negative with this, I do feel like you do get a little bit of transfer. The other ones are great for mask wearing. Maybe the NYX one I do feel like has a little bit of transfer, but the rest set pretty well. But this you will get a little bit of transfer, but on those days when you're just running out the house and you want to throw something on the skin to make your skin look hydrated, to make it look smooth, high textured, high redness, beautiful. It will give your skin that youthful, healthy looking appearance, like you spent time on your skincare the night before. It just has such a beautiful finish to it. So I had to include this. I love the dropper bottle as well in the glass packaging. Great price on this. I think it's $17 at Ulta, so great buy. And you can use their normal coupons on Morphe, which I love. So you can always get this on sale. beautiful product. I love this so much. So that is my top 5 plus a little bonus product that I wanted to talk about. My top 5 most favorite flawless coverage foundations for when you want a youthful, healthy glow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a fun one. I love talking makeup. Maybe I'll add some more makeup videos on this channel. It's funny, I feel like back in the day I was more makeup focused, but I guess, I don't know, you can only acquire so much makeup, right? And skincare is just so fun to buy. So is makeup though. Man, I can't resist some of these makeup releases coming up. I'm dying to try the new Flawless foundation. Let me know if any of you guys have tried that. Foundation is one makeup product that I can never resist. So let me know some of your favorite Flawless foundations down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.